Shit! Not wearing my cummerbund. Squared off with Jane, looked her deep in the eyes, and then kicked her square in the
One more dry run?
Yeah, one more. He's a comedian.
Howdy, Krikiters. As some of you may know, today marks the 1-year anniversary of Gmonee Krikit making his way to YouTube. I know the jokes have been thin for the past few months, but I figured I'd make it up to you by telling you my favorite joke. Are you ready? So, Chad makes his way out of his quarterly meeting and starts walking around the office to see the smiling faces of his employees. As he's walking around, he sees a new face in the crowd and says, Candace, who is that over there? Candace gives him a surprised look and says, what, you mean Dave? Everybody knows Dave. Well, I certainly don't, says Chad. Why don't you introduce me to him? Dave, can you come over here real quick to talk to Chad? So Dave comes walking up and says, oh, Chad, it's so nice to finally meet you. I've heard a lot of great things about you. Chad says, yes. It's a pleasure to meet you. Candace says you know everybody in the office. Dave says, me? No, I know everybody. That sounds a bit hyperbolic, don't you think? Dave says, no. A lot of people used to be skeptical. Your mother, for example. How is Ethel doing? She's got to be coming up on that 2-year anniversary of her finally beating cancer. Is she doing all right? A little uncomfortable, Chad says, as a matter of fact, yes, that's tomorrow. Oh, that's great news, says Dave. Just tell the old bag to stay out of the garden, because them taters got eyes. she'll know what I'm talking about. Chad's impressed, but still skeptical, and says, okay, if you know everybody, call Tom Cruise. With Bugs Bunny-like speed, Dave's already on the line and says, hey, TC, what's going on, man? I got a friend here who wants to talk to you. His name's Chad. You want to talk? Chad takes the phone and is ushered off quickly as Tom Cruise is on set, but gets a very convincing show me the money before Tom Cruise finally hangs up. Dave takes back his phone and says, you want me to call anybody else? Now, Chad's a businessman and says, okay, I've got a proposition for you. If you know everybody, I'll give you $50,000 if you introduce me to the Pope. Dave says, Bergoglio? Went to college with the guy. Used to play rugby with him. I've always wanted to visit him out there in Vatican City. I assume you're buying the tickets? So the two of them fly off to Vatican City, and as they're walking through St. Peter's Square, Dave says, okay, now, Chad, I'm going to have to ask you to wait out here. They don't just let anybody in there. He's the Pope, after all. But I know the guards, Italo and Fabrizio, are good friends of mine. So I want you to keep your eyes peeled. Just stay out here, and when you see me come out on that balcony, you're going to see me come out with the Pope. So Dave makes his way off into the building, and Chad stands outside a little irritated. But sure enough, a few minutes later, a crowd starts to gather and noise starts building up as the Pope and Dave step out on the balcony. But Chad notices one lone stranger in the crowd who looks just as confused as he is. The tiny Italian man looks very confused as he stares at the balcony. He looks over to Chad, realizes he's not impressed, and says, who the hell is that on the balcony with Dave? Happy anniversary from the Gmonee Krikit family. I'll see you guys next week. Hey, Nugget, how'd you get up there?